you doing? It's Jodi K with 94.5 The Moose. Thank you. Thank you for having me on this Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Remember, it's Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon. Appreciate you. I'm with Alpha Media in Saginaw, WSGW AM and FM, 106.3 The Core, KISS 107, and 94.5 The Moose. This weekend, something really cool is happening with Pit and Balcony. And I have Amy Spetafor, and she's going to talk to you, or I'm going to talk to her about what's happening. So, hello, how are you?
Hi, Jodi. Thanks for having me.
Off when we were in the green room, we were talking about your poster behind you. How cool that is!
Oh, this way, yeah.
That is awesome. But let's talk about what's happening this weekend with Pit and Balcony.
So we are closing out our 91st season this weekend with our After Dark production. Yeah, 91 seasons.
What?
Yep, Pit and Balcony's been around for a long time.
Wow, that's in the same spot?
Pretty much the same spot. We started in the spot that we're in right now at 805 Hamilton in 1948. But that spot has always only ever been Pit and Balcony. It was built by volunteers and has only ever been Pit and Balcony. Before that, the Pit and Balcony players were performing in attics and in a carriage house that belonged to one of the members. And there was a big fire, so then they had to move. They bought the property on the corner of Hamilton and Throop, and it's only ever been Pit and Balcony ever since.
Wow, I did not know that. I just asked the question, and boy, you have all the history of everything. Do you guys have documentation of all that, like pictures and everything?
Oh, yeah. We do rely a lot on the Castle Museum, though, and Tom Trombley down at the Castle Museum and the Hoyt Library. Yeah.
To
keep a lot of that in order for us. Yeah.
All right. So now that we know the history, I didn't mean to go there, but that's very interesting. 91. Wow. 91.
Yep. 91 seasons at Pit and Balcony.
So what's happening with the After Dark this weekend?
So our After Dark productions, we started back in 2016. So it's kind of like a mini season for us. So this weekend, it's Sunday on the Rocks. And it is our After Dark productions are adults only productions. They typically have, content and language and situations that are more appropriate for adults than kids. But they're also generally politically or socially relevant storylines as well. So this one is for female roommates. It's set in 1995 on an October Sunday morning. One roommate wakes up and decides she's going to have scotch for breakfast because she has found out that she's pregnant and is considering not keeping it.
Okay.
So
scotch for breakfast. All right. I answered that. All right.
Yep. So she's not at a point in her life where she thinks that it's responsible for her to have a child. And so this is kind of what she's going through this morning. Her roommates wake up to find her having scotch for breakfast. They join her. And then we find out kind of the other things that are going on in their lives as well. We've got Jen, who has a nice guy at work who turns out to be not so nice. And
we've all been there.
Yep. And then we have Gail, who kind of just is interested in keeping the peace in her house. She's not really sure what she's doing or where she's going. Her career is kind of in flux and that kind of stuff. And then the fourth roommate we meet in Act 2, that's Jessica. She's what is called a dramatic foil. She comes in and throws everything on its. You
gotta have a dramatic foil.
Exactly. And so Jessica comes in and kind of asks everyone to reconsider where they're at, reconsider the way they're approaching the problems in their lives. And the way that this play is written, when I first read the script, it's really easy for someone like me with my background, my values and beliefs, to kind of hate Jessica. But it doesn't take long for you to really get into it. And when you're listening to what she's saying and what all of the women are saying to each other, you really understand where everyone is coming from. And you may not agree, but it's written in such a way that kind of no one's right and no one's wrong at the same time. And I think that that's my favorite thing about the script, is that it's going to make audiences really think about themselves and why they believe what they believe. And we're not here to change it, try to change anyone's mind, really.
Not to anyway, but
right. But art is supposed to make you think, and it's supposed to make you feel. And this play really does that. And it does it in a fun and familiar and like super relevant way.
So very cutting edge too. So 4 actors in the whole play.
Mm-hmm.
4 cast. Wow. I bet they got lines to learn too. How long have they been practicing?
Well, this process has been about 5. By the time we open on Thursday, it'll be about 5.5 or 6 weeks, all told. I will say that we did, for personal reasons, had to have 2 women who were originally cast in the show had to leave. Yeah, and that happens sometimes in community theater, and
It's like understudies.
Well, we don't. We have.
Oh wow!
We have me, and and we have the director, Katie Short. So a couple weeks into the process, unfortunately, the woman who was playing Ellie, or who was cast as Ellie, did have to leave the production, and so I stepped into that role. And then shortly after that, another woman had to step out, and so Katie Short, the director of the show, has stepped into the role of Gail. So
well, you know it.
Yeah. Well, she is more familiar with the script than anybody else. And Katie hasn't performed since high school, and you wouldn't know it. She's usually behind the scenes. She's usually a stage manager. This is her first foray into directing since college, and she's
acting.
And now she's acting, and she's done a great job. She's done a great job of juggling the hats, and she's done an excellent job of bringing this story to life. It means so much to her. And it's so clear in the way that she has helped us all kind of portray these characters and tell
you can feel your passion about this show.
I cannot begin to tell you how good it is.
Yeah, the way you're coming across, you're just really, really have so much passion about the show, and you can tell.
Yeah.
And it's playing all weekend, but how many times? What are the date? What days and what dates and the times?
So our After Dark shows run Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and they open at 8:30 p.m. So they are after dark.
Yeah, in the summer,
a little, it'll be dark when you leave for sure.
Yeah.
So 8:30 p.m. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only. The really unique thing about our After Dark productions is that we present them black box style, which means that instead of the actors being on stage and the audience being in the house or in the seats kind of separate, the audience is actually seated on stage with the actors.
That's right. You told me about that before.
Yep.
And that seems to, wow, that's incredible.
And so for a show like this that's set completely in these women's living room and on their front porch, it really kind of brings everyone into the action. And I say that, I want to be very clear. There is no audience participation in this show.
Freak out. They're like, no.
Yep. Everyone's always worried about that. But no, there's no audience participation in this show. You're just right there, and you can really feel kind of the emotion of the piece when you're that close. And what's very cool, I think, about Black Box Theater is that half of the audience is sitting across from the other half of the audience. And so you can actually visibly see other audience members' reactions to what's happening on stage in between you. So it's a very cool and unique experience that Pit and Balcony is the only one that does it in the region regularly.
Wow. Because you guys explained that to me last time we were on, because I'd never heard of that. And that's very unique.
It is.
How much is it to get in?
It's only $15. So our After Dark tickets are even cheaper than our main stage tickets. So it's $15 to get in. It's general admission seating, so you want to get there early. And the bonus about getting there early is that we'll have a signature cocktail. So this is called Sunday on the Rocks.
Yeah.
Yep, and we're drinking scotch on the rocks on stage. Scotch. on stage. And so one of our board members has created a Scotch mule called the Angry Woman. So it's Scotch and ginger syrup and lime and soda. So for our patrons who are 21 and up, we've got a signature cocktail there for you for sale.
Mules are hot right now. Those are in.
Yes. Yep. And it's so good. The ginger syrup is homemade. She brought it to a board meeting last week so that we could all try it. Good.
Well, you guys go all out for your $15 ticket. All right. Yes. Well, you have to pay for the drink, but I'm just saying.
You have to pay for the drink. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's wow, Amy. I guess every time I talk to you, I learn a little bit more and more about Pit and Balcony. So where is it? Where's Pit and Balcony?
So Pit and Balcony is at 805 North Hamilton Street. It's in Old Town, kitty corner from the Umbra company. So just a couple blocks away from the bars. So, come to the show, go get a drink afterwards, or get dinner and then come to the show and then go get a drink afterwards.
Well, you can drink during the show too.
And you can drink during the show too. Yeah. Yeah. So
where's parking at?
Parking is available on the street. There's parking across the street at the old SMS building, Saginaw Machine Systems. The city lot behind the OBGYN allows our patrons to park there. I will say, since it's I've got a platform right now, the Catholic Diocese used on the corner of Throop and Michigan used to be a good place to park. It is not anymore. So if you're coming to the show, don't park at the Catholic Diocese. They've added a gate and you might get locked in and nobody likes that.
You don't want to be locked in.
There is plenty of street parking and behind the building is also a good place to park. So we can certainly accommodate the 100 people a night.
That is going to be amazing. I can't believe that you practiced this for 5.5 to 6 weeks to do for 3 nights.
Yeah. It's we really want to make sure that we can fill the seats. And so these kinds of shows are important to be told. But sometimes they have a niche audience. Although I will say, I think that this one, so this play was actually written in 93. And so you won't know that though. If I didn't say right now that it was written in 1993, you wouldn't know, because a lot of the things that we're discussing are still relevant today. So, women's reproductive rights and boycotts. We talk about the Nestle boycott, which I'm pretty sure is still happening.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to look this up.
There's a lot in this play that I think that people will say, wait a minute, this was written 30 years ago? That's crazy.
Yeah. Because you probably get so involved in it, and then you're like, oh, it makes you think. Now, so it's $15 a ticket. It's general admission. What time 8:30 is showtime, but what time do the gates? What time do the doors open?
So the doors of the theater open at 7, and then you can find your seat as early as 7:30. So if you get there at 7, you can buy your drink and your popcorn, and you can be first in line to get the best seat in the house. So
right. Now, where can we get tickets?
pitandbalconytheater.com, and that's theater with an R-E. Tickets are there. The box office is also open right now, and until 5:00, and that number is 989-754-6587. It's also open an hour before the show. So at 7:30, the box office will be open as well, so you can get walk-up tickets. But the seating is limited, so there's only 100 seats a night. So it's a good idea to get tickets in advance.
Right. Yeah, I'd get them now to get them today.
Yes.
So it's this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 8:30. Pit and Balcony after dark. It's adults only.
Yes.
Sundays on the rocks. It sounds amazing, and wow, I hope you get a great turnout. In special drink. All right. What did you call the signature drink?
We called it the Angry Woman.
I thought you said Angry Man. I'm like, okay.
No, the Angry Woman, based on some old reviews of the show when it was first.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And the Katie Short's director's note in the program. So make sure you read that. There's kind of a whole theme there. And I gotta say, as much as we talk about, relevant issues and all of that kind of stuff, I don't want that to scare people away. This is a comedy. It is.
Yeah.
It is very fun. It's very funny, and it is very real. So when you're sitting around with your girlfriends and talking about things that matter, you're not always deep in serious conversation, right? You're laughing, you're making jokes, you're making fun of people, and so it feels very real when we're performing it, and I know that it will feel very real and enjoyable to those who are in the audience also.
Yes. Well, that sounds amazing. I can feel your passion about this. I can feel it through the video. Okay, it's Sundays on the Rocks. It's going on this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 8:30 showtime. Doors open at 7, you said?
7:30. Yep.
7:30. Pit and Balcony, 805 North Hamilton. Make sure you get there. Make sure you get your ticket. The links are where you can get them. It's crawling at the bottom here. So, Amy, break a leg. Is that what they say? Do they still
Yes,
say?
thank you so much.
Okay. Do they still say that?
They do. But saying good luck is bad luck. So break a leg is the way to go.
Okay. Break a leg, Amy. And thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us today.
Thank you, Jodi. We'll see you next season. Weekend.